Welcome to the FourthSquare Solutions Podcast. At FourthSquare, we're driving business transformation through technology and innovation. We focus on delivering enterprise-wide solutions beyond IT for the public and commercial sectors. What can we solve for you today?
Hi, and welcome again to the FourthSquare Solutions Podcast. For those of you who I have not met, my name's Kerry, Boudreaux, and I am the Senior Vice President of Sales here at FourthSquare. Today's topic, we're going to talk about Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or as we say in the business, OCI. And I am thrilled to have as our guest, Santosh Kusuma. Santosh, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Kerry. Really looking forward to answer any questions. I want to how we help, meaning FourthSquare helps our customers in terms of their cloud infrastructure, journey to the cloud, things like that.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about is what is OCI and how can organizations leverage OCI to transform their business? But before we get into that, Santosh, can you share with the audience a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your background?
Yes. So Santosh Kusuma, been in the industry for 25 plus years, been an Oracle technology guy from 23 years. And currently at FourthSquare, I run the OCI and the cloud engineering services, what we call. And I'm an ex-Oracle. I've been a network admin, worked in the data centers, the DBA and PeopleSoft, DBS, technologies, ERP applications, and excited, since the cloud happened, especially the second gen of OCI, a lot of things are exciting when it comes to moving Oracle workloads to OCI.
Awesome. So let's dive right in. Santosh, when we say Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, what do we mean when we say that?
So it is just think like any other cloud vendor. So Oracle calls infrastructure versus their Fusion or the SaaS applications differently. So typically when you talk about Oracle or any cloud, you are talking about the infrastructure, which is compute, like the storage, servers, VMs, and stuff like that. Then you talk about the software, like the SaaS side of it. So Oracle calls cloud infrastructure specific to the platform on the infrastructure side, not only for the compute VM, but also on the database and analytics platform side. They offer as part of the cloud infrastructure offering.
Yeah. So when customers are thinking about OCI and what it means, so customers have their workloads. It could be Oracle applications, it could be custom applications, and they're running them on their own, within their own data center. What are the advantages of taking some of those workloads or all of those workloads and shifting them, off of their own data center onto OCI?
That's a good question. So before I answer that, I just want to give you an idea, how OCI has done the cloud. When I said earlier, I said Gen 2 cloud, right? What it means by Gen 2 is Oracle Cloud, the way they built is they physically isolated the workloads, meaning the network is separate. They are not, the virtualization is isolated, things like that. So that helps, especially the enterprise customers running not only Oracle, but also anybody who wants to have no noisy customers, meaning running your VMs or your environments isolated within your own network on the cloud. So that's how, easy and secure, Oracle made. So when it comes to moving to cloud, right, how or what kind of benefits enterprises can have, obviously, if you are an Oracle customer already, you can leverage or get used to or use the benefits of Oracle infrastructure, cloud infrastructure platform like the database platform and the rack for cluster, which is the high availability for your database, Exadata, autonomous database now, and clouded customer. There are many options if you're running already on running Oracle products. You can bring your own licenses, you can run everything. And also, what works best from overall cloud services standpoint, what I've been doing and what I've been noting for my customers is in OCI, the partnership between other customers, other cloud vendors is much more easier, meaning Oracle has a partnership with Azure and AWS. So the future is about multi-cloud. So Oracle embraced that faster. So you will have a lot of other benefits running your applications if your application footprint is Windows based, or if you want to go to Azure for the Windows based workloads, you can go there. But want to leverage the benefit of running an RDBMS on Oracle, then you can leverage that with the multi-cloud partnership. So a lot of benefits, not just from technology standpoint, but also from TCO standpoint and the maintenance with AI-driven tools coming into the market and how the advancements or innovations are happening only in cloud. It's OCI or Oracle Cloud infrastructure is best suited for enterprise customers choosing the cloud when it comes to choosing the cloud.
Yeah. So you mentioned an acronym in there, TCO. That's total cost of ownership. So when would you say that is one of the main drivers to taking your workloads off of your own data center and putting them into OCI, and maybe from a cost comparative standpoint, percentage wise, how much of a savings do customers typically see when they move workloads off of their own data center into the OCI environment?
Right. So it's a very good question, Kerry. So right off the bat, I would say easily, 30 to 40%, customer could save. And the reason for that is, when you move to cloud, you are eliminating your CapEx, right? Meaning you don't have the capital expenditure. You are only subscribing or moving to cloud and getting the services from the operational model. So you're going to have only OpEx charges, right? So the maintenance charges. And that's the main driving factor behind, why your TCO, the total cost of ownership, will be a lesser.
Yeah. So it's getting rid of that CapEx. You don't have to be investing in all of that infrastructure. Is that what you're telling me?
That is correct, Kerry.
Gotcha. So here at FourthSquare, you are the senior cloud, transformation, the senior VP of Cloud Transformation Services. Tell the audience a little bit about what we do in the area of cloud infrastructure here at FourthSquare.
Right. So we provide a lot of, meaning not a lot, I mean to say cloud services, right? So when we talk about, customers moving to cloud, you need to do a strategy and assessment, what kind of environment you have, whether you're ready or not. So maybe the CXO wants to know whether my environment or my on-prem workloads are ready to move to cloud, and what kind of TCO or they would like to see, or they want to understand what kind of TCO benefits they get moving to cloud, right? So we do the cloud strategy assessment services, and we also do the architecture and implementation, meaning the designing the architecture in cloud for their type of workloads and how we move them in terms of automating the migrations and doing an AI-based discovery. And in fact, we have a AI-based sizing tool we developed and that we use for our customers. And I will talk about that in a minute. So we do architect and implement in cloud, and also migrate or modernize the services in terms of lift and shift of their current workloads, or if you want to just re-platform depending on your application needs, we can do the re-platforming for your cloud native apps into the cloud, and also make sure a lot of your data center exit strategies, consolidation thing are taken care as part of this overall migration and modernization. So we do the assessment and develop the migration strategy, and then architect and implement. And we continue to leverage, the innovations happening in OCI along with the security stuff, right? Because the security, compliance, and governance is so much important now than ever before. So a lot of innovations in terms of AI-based monitoring or anomaly detections. All the innovations are happening in cloud. So we're going to leverage that. And also we provide, once we move the customer to cloud or design the architecture and implement it, once they are live in the cloud, we are going to manage their database and the applications too. We have a lot of deep expertise, certified Oracle architects, supporting multiple customers, across the globe. We've done, many migrations and have been very successful.
So when we do that initial migration, say taking workloads from, their data center onto OCI, we just don't wipe our hands and move on. You guys can manage that environment through our managed services program. Is that correct?
That is correct. We want to be our customers, trusted partner, right? We just don't want to do the migration and just be done with it. We want to be your partner. We want to, support you for your changes in your, business, right? Meaning if customer is acquiring a new business or anything like that kind of stuff, we can scale up and design the architecture for the scaling up, infrastructure as well. So we're not going to migrate and move and give it back to you, but we want to be your trusted partner to help you how else you can benefit, right? And if customers cannot move everything to cloud, and that is what I'm seeing nowadays more, so there are options like clouded customers. So you can be on-prem but leverage, the cloud benefits. So those are all the things we define or understand as part of our strategy and assessment services when we look at your workloads, how you're running currently on-prem.
Yeah, unlike typical journeys where we get in the car and we go, when we get in a car, we have a destination, but it seems like, technology journeys, they really don't have a destination. In that because that destination, they keep moving that destination, right? Because technology is always changing. So it is good to have somebody like FourthSquare or your team, and specifically for today's topic, to be along the ride, on that journey, throughout the journey, should I say? So that's good. So I hear a lot of talk about some really, really cool projects that you guys are working on over at your team. Can you share a couple of those projects that you guys have that you're working on right now?
Certainly, Kerry. So one of the most recent project I'm working on, it's exciting for us. So we, like I was mentioning earlier, so if your workloads, customers' workloads are not ready to move everything off to one cloud vendor, right? So let's say to OCI in this case. So you can always have multi-cloud strategy. So one of our customers, the strategy and assessment, the strategy we created based on the assessment is they're going to run their apps in Azure and run the Oracle database in OCI. So we are leveraging the OCI and Azure interconnect, the backbone connectivity between those two cloud service providers. And we designed the architecture in that way. And we are now migrating a huge, big database from on-prem to Oracle Cloud, and the applications are moving to Azure. So because they are that customer is especially an Azure shop, meaning Microsoft shop, but they love the Oracle databases, what they are using. So that's the kind of architecture. And I'm seeing a lot of customers, taking that approach. Like I said, multi-cloud strategy is the way to go because you're trying to get the best of every cloud offerings what they have. For example, if you want to go to Office 365, if you want to leverage Office 365, obviously we would recommend you to go to Azure. But if you want to leverage the best database platform, which is autonomous, self-patching, self-maintenance, which reduces a lot of workload on the DBAs who can focus on your data and getting the value out of data than just regular patching maintenance, right? So those are the innovations, you can leverage combining a solution with a multi-cloud strategy.
Interesting. Any other projects that you're working on that are of interest? Not to put you on
So
the
one
spot,
of the
that was a cool one.
Yeah, and one of the couple of recent ones I will share. We also did a migration of one of the customers into OCI. They're a logistics company. They're present in 60 countries in the world. And we did on time. That includes assessment and discovery of their current footprint. And it is an EBS environment and moved within the time and budget. And when we went live in OCI, we literally were reported zero issues and literally zero issues. And everybody is so happy in terms of the commitments FourthSquare there with our analysis, with our execution, with our delivery. Customer is extremely satisfied. And in the same lines, one of our other customer, they had an extremely challenging on-prem environment, but the DR, they were struggling to have the DR set up. And two vendors, in fact, failed to enable their DR. FourthSquare went in, we understood where the gaps are, what are the challenges, and we did enable their DR in the cloud. And that was a great success because it failed. The project failed 2 times with 2 other vendors. And for the project stakeholders from customer, it's a big thing. It's highly visible. So once that was successful, the way it was celebrated is customer really invited all their IT team, celebrated by cutting a cake.
Oh, wow.
I didn't get a piece of my cake, but, but that's how they celebrated and they shared the videos, the successful videos. And it was like a great moment for us. So that FourthSquare team went above and beyond, for that kind of success to bring it to customer.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience about our services at FourthSquare, about our expertise? Is there a niche? Is there low-hanging fruit for a customer to look at their infrastructure and say, hey, we can really save some money. We can really become more efficient if we just do this. Anything along those lines that you would like to share?
Yeah, a couple of points there, Kerry. Again, good question. What I notice is, still there are customers who are still reluctant to understand, explore cloud because there is a lot of information when it comes to cloud. Is it AWS? Is it Azure? Is it OCI? What do I do? And put AI into it, it confuses a lot, right? So I understand. We understand, the challenges from customers' mind, how the technology and the advancements, innovations confuse them. But, all the tools and, the innovation, what is happening, we are going to bring it to you and to give, those tools and innovations bring you a better, peace to your mind when you're running things in cloud. So you don't have to completely move from on-prem to cloud, but see, how things work with DR. A lot of customers I see, they don't have a DR. And in fact, running a DR, having a disaster recovery for your business critical workloads. And now with cloud, it's much more cheaper than what traditionally all the CXOs have an understanding about, right? So that's the low-hanging fruit. You don't have to take big risk. And what I noticed is customers, one of my customers, again, automotive customer, they are running, a lot of things traditionally on-prem, and their disaster recovery environment is like a 30-year-old architecture, right? So that is something, it's a kind of low-hanging fruit, like what you mentioned, Kerry, go and test the cloud. Anyway, your 30-year-old architecture is not going to help when real disaster happens, but at least you can test it out, how cost efficient and how you can realize the benefits of the innovation that is happening in cloud, along with the AI infrastructure and the AI tools that will help. And all this along with, making sure your data is secure, your environment is secure, with a zero secure policy in the cloud.
Yeah. So what industries is your team working in right now?
So we are working across various industries, right? Manufacturing and financials, like banks and automotive manufacturers and logistics. Like I said, when it comes to cloud infrastructure services, we don't need to focus only on specific industries. We have a wide range of industries we are working with.
Awesome. So, Santosh, I'm going to get to some serious questions now. You live in Boise, Idaho, right? Tell
Right.
me, and I have been to you've got a beautiful home. It overlooks the mountain range. Tell me something when you're not digging into infrastructure issues. What do you like to do?
Well, I'll be digging in my backyard for the potatoes, right?
That's right, Boise. There you go.
Boise. Now, yeah, I mean, Boise has been a surprising place for me too when I was doing a project a long time ago for HP. But yeah, in my free time, Boise, the Idaho weather is close to nature, so a lot of camping, outdoors, like hiking and trekking, whitewater rafting, and biking, right? So these are all the things, it's like working in IT is a lot of, fast-paced, meaning you need to be on toes to give us the cutting-edge solutions, leveraging all the technology and innovations. But having that life in the weekend or after office hours with families, that's a true blessing. I feel I got lucky to come to Boise. Not a chosen one, but I got lucky.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Santosh, thank you so much for your time today. And folks, what I love about Santosh is he started his career in infrastructure before cloud technology came around. So it's unique that if you get to engage with Santosh and his team, he not only knows the on-prem environments and the challenges and what you need in that area, he also knows this cloud, technology and cloud infrastructure that came about. Gosh, what has it been now? 15, 20 years now that cloud infrastructure has been around, Santosh?
Yeah, probably 10 to 12 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get in Santosh and his team, you get expertise in both environments. So again, audience, thank you so much for tuning in. My name's Kerry Boudreaux, as I told you before. If you ever need any type of business transformation, please give us a call here at FourthSquare. And until next time, in 2 weeks, always be asking yourself, how can you transform your business through technology and innovation?
All right. Thank you, Kerry.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the FourthSquare Solutions Podcast. We hope you found it insightful. Visit FourthSquare.com to learn more about our team and capabilities. While you're there, search our knowledge base to find articles, white papers, and case studies. You can also listen to additional episodes and read our In the Square newsletter. Until next time, what can FourthSquare solve for you?